All right, guys, welcome back to another Chevy Silverado build. Today, we're going to be installing some wheel lights right here. Tyler picked these up for about $200 and odd. They got quite a bit of LEDs right here, and I believe his wheel lights only have about 4 or so per each, so these should be pretty bright. I think they're about 17.5 inches. Comes with some mounting hardware and everything right here. These will actually mount on the dust cover for the brake caliper, so that's how those will mount. They also have a connector right here that's the same connector that's on Tyler's rock lights as well. So for right now, we're going to route these up separately instead of mounting them to the rock lights. Eventually, we'll probably do them all together, so whenever Tyler turns on his rock lights, it turns on everything. But here's the wiring right here. It's pretty simple. We'll start at the beginning here. So you got your button right here that turns it on and off, and you got your power and ground right here. We had to purchase this fuse holder separately. It just has a 5-amp fuse. That's what it calls for in the directions. This yellow wire right here will go to the positive. This one will go to the negative. I've already kind of mocked these up. You will need to purchase that fuse holder if you are getting this kit. Right here, I think, is the module for the wireless controller. So right here is the wireless controller. Didn't know it actually came with this, but press this down. Has A, B, C, and D. Not really sure which buttons do what. Doesn't really say, but we'll have to test that out. Obviously right here, it splits into your 4 wheels, and then you got your connector with a screw, and also you got a gasket right here for weather tight seal. So that's how that all works. So for right now, I think we're gonna test this out. We're gonna open Tyler's hood, connect it to the battery, and just see how bright these lights actually are. Let's test it out. Ooh, that is pretty bright. Click that button there. Yeah, that turns it off.
Is that you?
Press it again. Does it have modes? Oh, it's got modes. That's illegal.
Here's the fun part.
So
it's not going solid. Oh, there.
It's probably got like 4 different modes on it. Press it. Press it. Again.
It's got a lot of modes.
There you go. All right. Looks like that works. This thing does not work, so we probably need like a battery or something. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and start routing this wiring here. So this wiring right here will obviously go to the battery. The rest of it, we're gonna sneak it down there with Tyler's rock lights. So you can see we already got some connectors there. We're gonna route it down the same way. We might need to take the fender liner off, but other than that, it should be pretty easy to route everything. All right, so we got the wiring all wired up here. We had to pull a little bit of screws off of the fender liner, the wireless controller right here, and the power and ground, and also the on-off button We got it wired up in this little spot right here. These other wires are for Tyler's rock lights. So we're gonna follow kind of the same path. Go up to the top here. You can see where they go in there right to the left, and also the relay that is for the rock lights. Ground is right there. We got 2 leads going there for the rock lights and the wheel lights. And then 2 leads right here as well for the rock lights and wheel lights. And the controller is right here. And we're going to route that kind of the same way as we did for Tyler's rock lights controller. Just temporarily, we're going to route it underneath here. And there is a grommet right here that we're going to try to fish it through as well. Should be a lot easier because it's not as big as the controller for his rock lights. So we'll go ahead and try that out. I'm going to thread it through. Can you see it at all?
Oh, there it is.
You got it?
Like, what?
Nice. All right.
So you're right here.
So yeah, it needs to route. Or if I remember, we pulled this off. There's that. Yeah, so route the wire right through here. Got it?
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot more slack. All right. Making it rain.
Okay. You're not gonna have much room for change.
I know. I don't think
You're
I'm
gonna have to find a new change spot.
Looks OEM.
Yep. Factory. Nope. Nope. There you go. All right.
Modes are there?
Get the light on here. Come down here.
It's just so bright.
Yeah, it actually is really, really bright. The problem is I think this whole thing is a little too big because these tabs right here, there's 3 of them on each. They connect onto the dust shield and they're barely touching the dust shield. Also, I think that this might interfere with the inner barrel of the wheel. So I think what we're gonna do, if I can get this off, let me disconnect it. So on the back here, where the zip ties are, this just holds the wire. You can actually undo these nuts right here and you can slide this whole thing together like this and it will make it smaller. I think we need to make it as small as to where this is about 1 inch away from the rotor, or to where it like barely clears the caliper, and try to get it as even as possible. If I try to mount this one on here, the bottom one is not gonna touch. We'll shorten this a little bit and we'll just go from there.
Like wire it together. I want to see like the color compared to the rock lights.
Oh yeah. It's pretty close. It's definitely a little more blue, I think.
Yeah, I could tell that just by looking at the.
It matches your grill lights more. But I mean, it's not, I don't think it's off super bad.
I don't think you'd be able to tell too much.
No. This is kind of what we had to do. We had to take off the zip ties and peel this back just a little bit. As you can see, these nuts right here allow you to adjust it quite a bit, actually. We can go a lot shorter if we needed to. Whatever that's at, that looks pretty good to me.
You have a marker or something to mark that? Or is it going to stay put?
I think it'll stay put. I just need to get a wrench to kind of tighten these. And hopefully I can rotate this in a spot where, yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to take the caliper off. I wish there's a better way to mount this than to drill it in here. All right, guys, so we're kind of jumping ahead right now. We went ahead and just did one side so we knew how to show you guys how to do the other side. So right now we got the truck backed up and it's gonna be our first look at it from afar. All right, wait, hold on. First, let's take a look at this side.
All right.
For everybody. So it is kind of dark out. We got the rock lights on. That's what it's looking like. Now we'll go to this side. Oh, they're off.
Huh?
They're off. There's like 100 different modes.
They on?
No. Did it blow a fuse? All right, so we had an issue with the fuse. It was blown, so we put a new one in. Not really sure why it blew, but
Damn.
you gotta look at it from afar.
Yeah.
It's definitely lit up. On camera, it like really catches it. Look on camera.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Let's go back to the other side. Oh yeah. You can actually see like the spokes and everything of your wheels.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Definitely looking more like a show truck. Let's go through the front. Yeah, you get a bigger lift kit, it's gonna shine more on there.
Yeah.
All right, so it's getting pretty cold out here. We'll go ahead and pull the truck back in and show you guys how we're gonna do the other side. What was that?
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
All right, so we're starting on the rear here. Unfortunately, we do have to take off the brake system, so that means the rear caliper and the rotor. They're 18s, so Tyler's taking those off.
Give me it back, motherfucker.
U-bolt. No, it's not gonna come off. It's hitting the U-bolt.
Oh. Oh. See that?
Using your brain.
Woo, Timmy.
So Ross, why were you demonetized? Oh,
Tyler's
some
jerking
unfortunate-
off of my video.
Loctite. Gotta love it. Gotta hate it. Alright, you're up.
My time to shine, baby.
Name one better than me, Ross.
Me.
There is none.
Now we're gonna go ahead and install the actual light here. So we did shorten this a little bit. I think it was about 17 and a half. And that's talking the diameter here from the inside of the metal. And we shortened it to 16. That seemed to be the best fit for Tyler's wheels. It's gonna be obviously different for every vehicle, but this is a 2017 Chevy Silverado. Just the regular GM Akebono brakes or whatever. And 16 seems to fit the front and the rear pretty much perfectly. Now there's kind of a trick to installing this. It comes with these little self-tapping screws right here. These will pretty much drill their own hole. You don't have to actually drill a hole. This actually has basically a drill bit on the tip of it. So it just screws right in. It has 3 mounts right here. So what we're gonna do is, the rear is actually different than the front. So we probably should have done the front first just to show you guys how to do this. But this one, we actually decided to mount it on the back here and put the screws through the dust cover. So the trick here is to get the screws actually drilled. We're gonna have the, here, go back out there. To get the screws mounted in here, we're actually gonna want to come from the backside this way. The reason is because when we try to put this brake caliper on, it's almost impossible to get it on with this in the way. And once we put the rotor on here, there's no way to get to the screws back in through here. So what we're actually gonna do now is get this lined up where we want it, just right in the middle. I'm gonna have Tyler hold this, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the self-tapping screws in this way, and then we'll take them back out, and we'll have our holes pretty much already drilled. And then at that point, we can put this to the side right here, put our brake caliper and rotor on, and then we can slide this on like this, and then bolt them in through the backside. Ow. Okay, that one's in. All right, pretty much got that mounted here the best that I can. Try to get it as equal as possible. Now we're gonna go ahead and loosen these, and we'll put the brake system back keep this kind of out of the way in the back side over here, like I mentioned. And once we get the brake system all put back together, we will connect these self-tappers from the back side. And the way that we get those put back in is we use one of these little ratcheting tools right here. You can get these for about $2 at Harbor Freight, and they pretty much accept a screwdriver bit and they turn it into a ratchet. And that will allow us to get that right angle that we need to get those bolts back in. Come out of there. There we go. All right, now we're putting the bolts back on the rotor, and look how we have this set up. Once we get all this bolted back up, we'll pull it this way, and we'll mount the bolts in from the. I already explained all this. I don't know why I'm doing it again.
I was gonna say.
I think. Yep, right there. That's it. So now we get our screws. All right, holes right there. We just tighten her up. And if you guys are worried about this, these screws hitting the rotor, I measured it, and there's pretty much an inch between the dust shield and the rotor, so these aren't even close to touching it. If you guys do have that issue, then maybe not mount it this way on your truck.
Great advice.
All right. How's that looking?
You're gonna have a mild
swear.
concussion.
I think that's it. Besides plugging it in, that's what we did fail to show you guys, was actually us routing everything. But it's pretty much the same as what we did for routing the rock lights. We just kind of followed the same path. The wires were the exact same, and it's not too hard to route it. We did have to extend. Let's see, I got it tucked up here. Here's the wiring for it. We did have to extend about, I would say about 2 feet on the other side and about 3 feet on this side. I'm sure that they sell extensions for this you can buy on Amazon. This is a pretty common connector for rock lights or wheel lights or whatever. I would recommend getting a couple of those just so that you don't have to splice anything, but we're trying to get this done, so we went ahead and spliced it. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually route this behind the frame rail here, come down with this, I believe it's an ABS line, route it up here with the brake line right here, and it'll just plug in like that. We'll go ahead and do that, plug it in, and then show you guys what it looks like once we put the wheel on. Guys, it's a cold one out today. Tyler's wheel hub spacer thing is frozen. So we're heating it up with a heat gun.
I think we're good.
All right.
Probably gonna need that in a second again, though. All right, guys. Watch me bust my ass. Holy fuck.
It's icy. You can actually moonwalk on that.
It's so slick out.
There we go. All right, toss her on, son. You're not very good at finding the holes.
Very good in the hole. Hold on. Give me a second. Hey, my pre-workout's in that truck. Go give me it. Close.
Are you almost done yet?
Shut. Don't make me laugh. Fuck. Hold on, I got this.
I bench 225. You're gonna bust your ass.
But that's pretty much how you do the rear. So now we're gonna go ahead and jump onto the front and get out of this rain, this freezing rain.
You got you're filming yet?
Yeah, I'm filming.
All right.
Your mic on?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
You bust a nut?
Did we put a Loctite on that? Put Loctite on it?
No.
Oh. Well, that came off really easily. Get it? Because I busted a nut.
It's a bolt on that. All right, so this one's a little more straightforward, but it's also a lot harder to put the braking system back on. 4.5, 4.5, pretty close 4.5, pretty close 4.5. Zap her in.
Right in your finger.
Woo! All right, so this is the tricky part. Now that we got it mounted, we need to somehow put this brake caliper through here and put the rotor inside of it and then mount it just like this. If that made any sense. Tyler's got the rotor. I'm gonna get the brake caliper because if you try to just slide in the rotor now, you won't be able to get the brake caliper in. So, just like that. All right. Now, no, slide this on. Yeah, make sure your hole's lined up.
Always make sure your hole's lined up, people.
Now we can actually slide the whole thing on now that the brake caliper is fully seated on the rotor. Oh, it's hitting the rotor. There we go. Perfect. Now we just bolt everything back up. Let's test it out.
Services.
There she is. Tuck her in. All right, now I need a ton of zip ties. Oh my God. This guy can't even put his wheel on his truck.
It weighs like 85 pounds.
What are you doing? Oh. Yay.
Oh. I think I ripped a hemorrhoid or something on my groin.
You know what that is?
No, but I don't think I have it anymore.
That's like a thing in your butt. Your intestines are coming out of your butthole.
That's what that just felt like. I felt like someone had their hand in my butt, just ripping out everything inside.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for the front and the rear. We already did the other side, as you guys saw. Pretty straightforward to install. Take off the rotor and the brake caliper, mock up your wheel lights, and go ahead and self-tap those in once you get all mocked up and measured on how big you want them. These wheel lights, I think, started at about 18 inches and they were adjustable. We adjusted them down to about 17 inches. If you guys have a Silverado from 2016, 2018, the brake system is going to be kind of the same. So probably want to mount them as we did in the video. If you have a different truck, you're going to have to figure out exactly how you want to mount those, but you mount them on the dust shield. That's how we did. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get this wheel all bolted back up. We'll back it out and do some cinematics, but that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. Pretty happy with the wheel lights. Think they look pretty cool. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.